think we're live. There we go. Don't chat yet. I know I'm live. I know. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? This guy's live on a Thursday? Well, it shouldn't be like that. Yeah, I have 2 live streams. So I'm gonna end this one. And then if I go back, okay, you can start chatting right about now. You start chatting now. Hello, Mr. John Doug. Hype for RoboCop Fluffy. It's a sick Fight Night card. If we're being honest, RoboCop Fluffy is a bit of a sleeper card. I don't think enough people are talking about it, but there are some sick fights on that. Let me pop out my chat. Bring it over here. Bring this here so I can look up Tapology. Let's just take a look at it. I'm pretty sure I've looked at it multiple times before, but it is just such a beautiful card for what it's honestly better than UFC 330 in terms of like being stacked, if I'm being honest. Oh, dude. Awful pimple. Let's look at it, dude. Let's look at it. Hernandez RoboCop. That should be pretty fun. Depends on how it goes. Spivak Petrino. Petrino hopefully will slime out Spivak. That's hopefully. DeRitter DeLidsey. DeRitter should get that done. Who you got between them? I'm thinking Anthony Hernandez, John Doug. RoboCop is kind of dumb. I don't know if he'll go to the body. I don't know if he will. He is kind of dumb, and he does, like, if he doesn't get his way, he kind of shells up and gives up a lot. Like, he's a bit of a quitter, RoboCop is. Like, some of the KOs that he's been KO'd quite a bit of times. I'm not saying Anthony Hernandez will KO him, but like the way he's been used to get KO'd is just, I'm done. I'm not getting my way. I got Fluffy, same here. But regardless who wins, I want to see the winner fight DDP. That'd be a sick fight. It's hard to really know what they're going to do with the top of the middleweight division, just because it's kind of log jammed. That is welterweight too. A lot of these divisions are log jammed up. Featherweight, not really. Bantamweight's kind of log jammed up. Flyweight, not really. We've kind of worked through everything, but you have Chimaev, no clue what he's doing. He's whining on Twitter for a rematch, so I don't know. Didn't even defend his belt once, so hey, imagine not defending your belt once and wanting a rematch. DDP's 2, he's number 2, and Mavov's 3, Piper's 4. So what? So Hernandez is 7, RoboCop is 10. So I think, honestly, depending on how it goes, John Doug, they could get but Joe Pyfer should be fighting soon. Maybe Brendan Allen. They may get Brendan, but you can't do Brendan Allen if Hernandez wins, because Hernandez beat Brendan Allen. It's a very tough thing. Very tough thing. So probably DDP. That seems like the right thing, honestly. Marco Maderos versus Mason Jones is a sick fight. Like, does he still march forward against RoboCop Power? RoboCop's Power DDP? Oh, I know Strickland would beat RoboCop, but I wonder what the game plan would be. Does he still march forward against RoboCop's Power? I would think he would, because RoboCop's not like this like slick striker. I think if Adesanya can't land on him, I don't know if RoboCop will. You know, RoboCop, you kind of need to be a little slick to hurt Strickland or at least damage Strickland. Like DDP, he is slick. He's goofy, but that goofiness is slick. So that's why he's able to hurt Strickland and make him break a nose and stuff like that, do real damage. And RoboCop just can't grit down. I could see Strickland honestly possibly getting a TKO against RoboCop in the later rounds. I could see that happening. RoboCop doesn't have the best gas tank and kind of just shells up. Carly Judice, Chelsea Chavez is on that card. That's a decent woman's fight. Jamal Emmers, Larian Douglas is on this fight night card. Gaziev Nuzhachukwu. Eh. Nazareth Hack Press versus Chris Badillo. Taco's on this card. Gage Young against a bum, but it's Gage Young. Jackson McVeigh's actually pretty good against Wes Schultz. Jackson McVeigh should demolish Wes Schultz. I don't know how Wes Schultz is in the UFC. Even though I did pick him as an underdog for his last fight. So maybe I'm obligated to love him. But there's some decent fights. Starts off with a woman's fight, 2 debuting. Maybe not actually. No, they're not debuting. Chanel Dreyer sounds familiar. I don't know though. Mauricio Barbosa. Oh, that's the guy who knocked out Dennis Bajuka. He's already back. That's a sick fighter. A lot of sneaky good fighters on this Hernandez RoboCop card. Like a lot of sneaky good. It's honestly like the best prospect card. Mason Jones, Larry and Douglas, Carly Giudice is a good woman's prospect. Chris Padilla and Nazareth Kekpress, I guess, are kind of prospects. Mauricio Barboza, Gage Young, Jackson McVeigh's a good prospect. A lot of good prospect. This is kind of like this is like a prequel card. This is like the prequels to Star Wars or something. It's just a build. It's just the build up. But that's actually the Contender Series is on tomorrow. Do we make some picks for the Contender Series? What are we thinking? I won't be able to watch it because I have work tomorrow night, but I'll listen to it. But might as well tonight look at some of these guys. Tanner Tremblay versus Roman Puga. Tanner Tremblay is 7-0 versus Roman Puga, who is 5-1. He's beating guys 1-1, 3-0, 5-6, 4-2. Doctor Stoppage is why he lost. He's 29 years old, a little bit shorter, has a reach advantage. But Tanner Tremblay, 6-1, 9-4, 5-1, 2-0 submission kind of guy. He's kind of a club and subber. Oh, that's tough. I never really trust these jiu-jitsu based guys, if I'm being honest. I never really trust them. I think they're wimps. Sometimes they're wimps. Sometimes some jiu-jitsu guys are just wimps. So it's hard to pick them to win. It really is hard to pick them. Boom. I guess that works. I guess that works. Anyways, try to fix something. But I guess if it's like that, then I can also, maybe I can do this. There we go. Boom. But yeah, I think Strickland beat RoboCop. I think you got, like I said, you got to be slick. You got to do something to kind of like make Strickland, like you got to get ahead of Strickland. Strickland will very well just barely be ahead of you, being content with that. And RoboCop, I don't know. Like he may not go for the kill like he needs to. But he could. He may shoot on Strickland. I don't know though. But I'd still probably go with Strickland. RoboCop's just a little, like I said, kid's bald too, so he's a baldy. He can't really. Actually, Strickland's bald. Battle of the balds. Let's see. Let's look at these Roman Puga Tanner Tremblay records, dude. Amateur record. He's done some boxing as why Roman Puga. Okay, so he used to be a boxer. So he was 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-0-1 as a boxer. KOs first round, second round, first round. Are these guys he's boxing good? Let's see. Split decision draw. I don't know. 3-5. Okay, never mind. This guy sucks. He's been knocked out twice. Okay, 7-4. Okay, that's a decent boxer, but he lost early to Roman Puga. But ever since he lost to Roman Puga, KO, decision, stoppage, draw. Okay, some decent. That guy sucks. He's 0-3. Philip Schwartz is 0-5 as a boxer, and he only had one professional boxing fight. Jalen Phillips, this guy also kind of sucks as a boxer. Oh my goodness. And he drew with him. So I'm probably not going to pick Roman Puga. Do we check out some of his fights on Fight Pass? Might as well. Might as well. What does this Roman Puga guy look like? Did I ever ask you, John Doug, if you watch the NFL or football? You a college guy, NFL guy, or you just a UFC kind of guy? I forgot. I know Blue Jay is. I think there was one other person that was a football kind of guy. Roman Puga. No Roman Pugas that I can watch. So it doesn't even matter. What about Tanner Tremblay? So Roman Puga, just UFC. I got you. I got you. I got you. Nothing wrong with that. I used to be like that. And by used to be, I mean, literally, this is like my first real year watching football. But it's nice to have like multiple things. If it was just UFC at this point, dude, I may lose my mind. He has some good wins on the amateur scene, though, this Roman Puga guy. It doesn't show it, but on his amateur scene, he was taking these guys down and submitting them. Round 2, round 1, round 2, round 1. Ground and pound TKO. Decent amateur records he was beating. It's 5-1, 7-4, 3-1, 1-2, 4-0. Lost a decision though. But that guy's actually ended up being pretty good. Who was Ricky Ferrar? Only guy who's really beaten him. 7-3. But it was a doctor stoppage. Does that really count? Does that really count if it's a doctor stoppage? What are you thinking, John Doug? Are you locked in on this contender series matchups? I've never really done a contender series picks before, but it's probably you got to go with Tanner Tremblay from the looks of it. Yeah, I feel like UFC's been down here for a while, but I can't get on watching other sports. Do you just like find you don't care? Because if I'm being honest, the highs of like a good UFC card, the highs of it are unbeatable, unbeatable. But also the lows of a UFC, oh my goodness, are so bad. They're so awful. Like UFC has probably the highest highs and lowest lows of any sport. I'd put money on that, dude. Tanner Trimble against Cole Alexanian. Is that his? Okay, that's his guillotine choke. Let's see what he looks like. Oh, I don't watch the contender series. Really? You just don't care for it, or you just busy on Tuesdays? Like I listen to it. I can't watch it because I'm working, but I at least listen to it. Like I'll listen to Guru watching it. Oh my goodness, dude! LFA's got some good looking ring girls. Okay, that's quite beautiful ring girls in LFA. Not that I don't care about other sports. I respect all athletes for the work they put in. Of course, of course. It's not like I'm not saying like you don't care, but I just find most sports repetitive. That's fair. That's fair. That's very fair. If you had to choose another sport where like you had to watch yeah, busy during the week, oh I got you. If you had to choose another sport that like they would force you to like you were forced to watch, what sport would it be though? Hockey? They get into fights. I've heard hockey's entertaining. Baseball sucks. I've tried to do baseball, can't do baseball. Um I think hockey may be good. Basketball's decent. I I can kind of get behind basketball. It's like a college team that I like. Um, but I don't know. Like if I couldn't watch the UFC and I had to watch another sport to replace it, it probably would be football. But I don't know. It's a tough ask. Good question. Take your time. Take your time. It's an important question. So don't go rushing it. Take your time with it. Yeah, I heard hockey's fun to watch, but never tried watching it. I don't. They've also the thing about sports these days, but like the UFC's at least all in one place. A lot of sports have the rights to different games across multiple streaming services, which is awful. Maybe some kind of race car, oh, like NASCAR or F1. My friend loves F1, big F1 guy. Because it's if you know the car and you know the drivers and stuff. I heard it's very. Oh man, he drops him in the first. He's the body. It's very like intuitive, I guess is the word. If you really know your stuff about cars, for F1 and NASCAR and stuff like that. I know I have two friends. I have one who's really into NASCAR and one who's really into F1. But they're like crazy different sports for some reason. But you also have to be a midget to it. You gotta be a midget to be what about horse racing? What if you just love Charles Oliveira and you just watch him horse race? That could be the way, dude. That could be the way. Actually, real quick before I start watching this. So we have, I don't know if you've seen this, John Doug. They've confirmed UFC 331. That's Van Pantoja 2 with Armin Rufi as the co-main. They've revealed UFC 333 for Volk, Evloev, and Yan Marab 3. But UFC 332, did I say 333? Is Yan Marab 3 and Volk Evloev? If I didn't, it is. But UFC 332 doesn't have a main event currently. So it has Figueiredo Talbot, pretty cool fight. McParkin Johnny Walker, that's pretty fun. Kopylov Gutierrez, that's a pretty good fight. Court McGee, Eric Nolan, that's a fun fight. Alden Correa and Manuel Rodriguez, those are all sick fights already. It's in Salt Lake City. I have heard rumors that Paulo Costa, Jiri Prochazka for the vacant belt will be for UFC 332. That's what I've heard. Do I believe it? Probably. That's the only fight. That's the only, unless it is just a Shevchenko Silva with a. They hit a double women's main and co-main. Oh my goodness, dude! Imagine they do that to Salt Lake City. Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised if they save like a Jiri Prochazka, Paulo Costa vacant lightweight title fight for the light heavyweight division for like UFC 334. I just did a liquid Buckley. That's a good way to introduce yourself. Wallpaper settings. Welcome. Wipe maybe. Wipe maybe, and ask Buckley to get out of your toilet, dude. Unacceptable. I find it funny how you of course you're calling your crap Buckley, but it's because Buckley's crap is why we're saying it, right? That's just how bad Joaquin Buckley is. He's so bad we're calling him crap. No other reason. No other reason. But yeah. Anyways, wallpaper sense. We were talking about UFC 332. What we think it may be. I'm thinking I've heard rumors Jiri Prochazka, Paulo Costa for either an interim or vacant light heavyweight belt. But it could just be Kayla Harris and Amanda Nunes with the co-main of Valentina Shevchenko, Natalia Silva. Which that might actually be the cause for Doomsday. Nothing to do with the color? Of course not, dude. Of course not, 1%. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not at all. Yeah, I don't know what 332 could be. It's a tough one since it's going to be Kayla Harris and Nunes. I'm scared. I'm scared that gif. I'm scared. I just hope it isn't Valentina as the main. Yeah, Valentina. At least Kayla Harris and Amanda Nunes is going to be two men. You know what I'm saying? That's a men's bantamweight title fight, actually. That's the men's bantamweight title fight, right? That's what Harrison Nunez is. So at least there's a little bit of that funny. And also Nunez possibly punching Harrison on the coming and she gets flying off her feet would be hilarious. I heard someone saying it'd be Lopez Oliveira for the BMF. Oh, I have been hearing that. I thought Oliveira wouldn't take a fight so short though. I feel like if Oliveira told the UFC, "Hey, I can't do Armin right now for my." Also, by the way, Oliveira, if he said no to Armin because of his Alan Nascimento's death, and then 3 days later he's on TikTok live battles with gifts. Is it just me or is that weird? 3 days later, so he won't accept a fight against Sarukian. His friend died, that's fair. But then like 2 or 3 days later, he's on TikTok live doing gift battles where he just is giving money or something. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Seems I hate to be heartless. Seems like that may have been an excuse. All I gotta say, Ian Gary didn't. Ian Gary trains with Oliveira, so I'm guessing he knows Alan Nascimento didn't pull out of his fight. All I gotta say, maybe Oliveira's just a better. Oh, I ripped up my knuckle. I did plush. I don't know what y'all call it. Softies, where it's the MMA gloves where it's just the fat thing right there and your fingers are open instead of boxing gloves today. And I did bag work a little too long. Imagine they do an interim BMF Lopez Patty. Interim BMF is the craziest possible scenario. That's when you know the UFC is desperate. Interim BMF belt. And watch that be the feature fight. So it's Harrison Nunez as the main event, Shevchenko Silva as the co-main, and then just to put the cherry on top, it's Lopez Patty Pimlet for the interim BMF belt. Just the biggest nothing burger of a pay-per-view ever, of a number card ever. Craziest thing ever. I'd lose my mind. I'd actually probably lose my mind. Throw a temper tantrum. Go crazy. Smear some Buckley over the camera. You know, I would go insane if that's what we're left with. Wallpaper settings. Are you watching the Contender Series tomorrow? Wallpaper settings. I'm at work, so I can't watch it, but I'll listen to it. But I'm making my picks right now for it. Might as well get them in, you know. And it looks like this Tanner Tremblay guy should take care of Roman Puga. But Roman Puga, Mexican, part of the Chicano gang. But this Tanner Tremblay looks pretty dangerous, dude. This fight I'm watching against Cole Alexanian, I guess he drops him like instantly. Or at least hurts him really badly. I'd be at work, I'll have to miss it. Gotcha. I just listened to it too. But this Tremblay guy looks decent on the first fight. Also, LFA, have you seen LFA Ring Girls wallpaper settings? Just go to Fight Pass, look at Tanner Tremblay, Cole Alexanian, LFA 223. You know, might have UFC beat. I'm not lying. Honestly, might have the UFC beat. What do you think Morales' takedown defense would be if he fought Islam? I'm in Din. Okay, the lady on the right's not the best, but you know, lady on the left. I think Morales' takedown defense would honestly to come out as gay before the fight happened. Like right before the fight at the press conference, Michael Morales just comes out as gay. That's the strat. If Ian Gary at the ceremonial weigh-ins goes up to the mic and says, "I'm gay," he would have won that fight. I'm just letting you know. Islam would not have grabbed a hold of him. So I think that is what Michael Morales needs to do. If not, I think he honestly is the best. I don't think he beats Prates. I don't think Morales beats Prates, but I could honestly weirdly see him beating Islam. But he overthrows a lot. And I am. but I think he has decent takedown defense. Apparently, his parents are Olympic gold wrestlers or something. Dana loves to absolutely trash and humiliate the contender series fighters who fight the way Makhachev fought. Makhachev is an extremely boring fighter to watch, hanging on the takedown and burning the clock. Isn't fighting, and wrestling is called stalling, and they stand you up due to a stalemate. Valley and Thor. I was actually thinking of making a video going over Makhachev Gary should have been a draw. Round 1 should be a draw round, if we're being honest. Round 1 should be a draw round, and then Islam takes 2 and 3, 2 and 4. No, 2 and 3. Gary takes no. He takes 2 and 5. Gary takes 3 and 4. Boom. Islam Makhachev and Gary should have been a draw. What are we thinking on that? What are we thinking on that? In wallpaper settings, if you just look at Tanner Tremblay versus Cole Alexandrian LFA 223, and look at that lady on the left at the announcer at like one. What? How many seconds in? I mean, at 23 seconds. At 23 seconds, wallpaper settings. If you just want to take a look at LFA girls, look at the girl at 23 seconds, dude. On the flip side, Ian Gary didn't show any sense of urgency. Yeah, it was very weird. I think it's because he had so much respect for Islam and stuff. I also I don't know if he thought he won round 4. Maybe he just didn't think he won round 4. And so he's a little distraught, little disheartened. But I feel like if round 1 his body kicks were going, like no one's talking about how many nice body kicks that he landed, which honestly looked like they sucked so much energy out of Islam. Like the body kicks he was landing, like past round 2, honestly in the middle, probably past round 2, 3, 4, and 5, those nasty body kicks. I was waiting for him to start inside low kicking or something like that. Who should fight Islam next? I'm thinking Protest John Doug. I'm thinking Protest. It just makes the most sense for Protest to fight Islam. I think you give Morales Gary, or you give Morales like the winner of Bonfirm. You can't do Brady Bonfirm. I think Protest is. To be fair, I like the idea Protest had. 6 months. If Islam really wants to be in there quick, you give him January, December, November. Go against Protest. Have him go against Protest, and then January, February, something like that. Give him against Morales if he really wants to be active. If he doesn't want to fight once a year, do it, dude. Fighting is entertaining, so to be successful, a fighter must not only win, but he must be an exciting manner. Diamato. Agree. Liked and subscribe. Thank you, Valiant Thor. If you want, I made a video early days. What happened to dominant grappling that goes over Islam Makhachev against JDM and Chimaev against DDP, and then I compare that to what's it called? Compared it to like Moicano BSD, Lopez Silva round 1. I compared it to really dominant grappling and said, just because you're winning rounds via control, that isn't dominant grappling. That's safe grappling. There's a difference. There's dominant grappling where you're smashing their heads in, you're putting them in crazy submissions, or there's safe grappling where you have that body triangle on the back, or you have them up against the cage. That's safe grappling. Needs to be renamed. You can't have draw rounds unless someone gets a point taken. I was thinking that wallpaper settings, but I read somewhere on the official rules of like how a round is scored that there can be a rare 10-10 round. UFC round scoring rules. Let me read it. So each round shall be individually scored. A 10-point must-score system on the 10-point scoring rounds. Where did I see you can give out a 10-10? I read it somewhere. Unified rules of mixed martial arts, maybe? Where did I read that? UFC scoring rules. I need to find a better thing. It was like in a document where I read it. Because someone brought it up on like Twitter or something. Let me find a wallpaper settings. Unless I'm just gonna get embarrassed. Unless I'm just gonna get embarrassed, dude. Maybe I'm just embarrassed. I mean, I see stuff like it's not unified though. I thought maybe I'm crazy then. Wallpaper settings. I think there should be draw rounds though. Like let's look at the stats of round 1. Let's look at the stats of round 1 wallpaper settings. I think 10-10 rounds should be allowed if you're not going to do anything with them. Maybe I'm crazy. Like there are rounds like it's a fight. There's rounds where if neither of them fight, no one should win a round if neither of them fight. Let's see. So round 1 of Islam Makhachev, Ian Gary, the total strikes, Gary was up on total strikes 78 to 89. Islam, oh, that's full fight, sorry. Total strikes, so Makhachev was up 23 to 10. He had 1 takedown and 3 significant strikes. With knees to the thigh being a majority of those total strikes. I think that's not a round you can dominantly say that Islam definitely won. I feel like that should be a 10-10 round where no one did anything. I know we hold him against the cage, but that's not fighting. I don't know. They need to do something like that, I feel like. Maybe I'm just coping. Could be cope. I'm not opposed to calling myself a coper. Okay, here it is. Associate of Boxing Commissions and Combat Sports, Unified Rules of Mixed Martial Arts. Where are scoring? Where's scoring? Fouls, intentional fouls, accidental fouls, time consideration, judging criteria. Okay, this is wallpaper settings. If you're still here, this is the Association of Boxing Commissions and Combat Sports Unified Rules of Mixed Martial Arts, amended August 3rd, 2016, July 26, 2017. So it's recently, the most recent rule change is July 23rd, 2024. Okay. This is what it says. All bouts must be evaluated and scored by a minimum of 3 judges. The 10-point must system will be standard of scoring a bout. Under the 10-point must scoring system, 10 points will be awarded to the winner of the round and 9 points or less must be awarded to the loser, except for a rare even round which is scored 10-10. Maybe this is old, maybe the UFC doesn't use this, but this is the official unified rules of mixed martial arts. The UFC website has it different, so maybe that's why they can get away with not having a 10-10. But so I guess the UFC uses it as a base, but doesn't use all of it, maybe, which is why they don't have 10-10 rounds. Because they also don't use, well, they do they use the weight classes for this MMA rules. Yeah, it was revised. Yeah, these rules are recent as of July 2024 too. I know that's 2 years, but let me see. Can I pull it up? CBS. Now, I mean, imagine if UFC started giving out 10-10 rounds, similar to rounds that every card would have multiple draws. Dana and Co. would want to keep the show moving forward. I think the way to do it is you have 10-10 rounds only for championship fights. On fights that matter, where every round counts and you really want to find out who's the world champion, that's where you do 10-10. I think you're right. You can't have 10-10 rounds and draw rounds for every single fight, but I think title fights only should have 10-10 rounds. Maybe I'm crazy again. I could be coping. That's very plausible. It's a very plausible cope. But I think that'd be fair, no? If you want to find out who's really the best, who is really your world champion of your sport, you need to do it with extreme detail, I guess. Prejudice? That's not prejudice. I don't know. Something like that. And died. It's kind of like, I mean, adding it would be like the people who want the overtime timer for if you get caught in a submission, so I can understand not wanting to implement it. But I feel like just for championship fights, you really need to have a definitive winner in a championship fight. You really need to. But then heaps of top fights in a draw and they have to book rematches all the time. That's true. I guess, yeah, I do have to remember that this is not a sport. This is this is entertainment. It's not a sport. But you know what? Wallpaper settings. I still might make the video saying that it should have been a draw. You know what I'm saying? Is that going to stop me from making a video saying that I think that'd do good, huh? Do you think that'd do good? How quickly would you lose interest if I started yapping for a video about that? As long as it's like 3 minutes, you watch for 3 minutes, you know? Because my view retention rate is awful. But also, I haven't been making many videos lately outside of, you know, my recents out of just, I forgot what it was. I forgot what I was going to say. Anyways. Yeah, let me just keep it here. How much rage baiting do you think that video would do to wallpaper settings? How many Makhachev fans would hate me and want me to die for saying that? Current rules are good. All we need to do is finalize vowels. I think you mean fouls, huh? Fouls. Penalize fouls more. Yeah, that's definitely needs to be. But to be fair, they've recently, I feel like, been on it. Like the Charles Johnson Chapolin fight instantly took a point. What other fight recently did they take a point pretty quick? I'm trying to remember. Let me. What was the last point deduction besides that? Maybe I'm crazy. I feel like there was a recent fight night card that had also a pretty quick point taken away. I feel like recently they've been on it. I think what really needs to be looked at is back of the headshots, dude. Herb Dean. They really do need to start having like a rate this referee, dude. Rate this referee. They get under like 2.5 stars. Did they fire them, dude? Or bye Herb Dean, dude. Hey, Dan Mergliotta, bye. That needs to be a thing. Maybe I'm crazy. Yeah, I'm probably crazy. I'm not going to go through everyone. Anyways, I feel like recently they've been on it more. Drew Dober, they took one against him pretty quick for just one nut shot. They've been decent on penalties. But yeah, I think I will be making just to kind of milk the topic I probably will be making, Islam Makhachev and Gary should have been a draw. This is not, and you know what? Wallpaper Sentence, how about we just have it be a thought experiment? Thoughts on that? I have the whole video be a thought experiment. Boom. Boom. Also, did you see the ladies at LFA? And by ladies, I mean one lady. But, my goodness. Honestly, might be better than Brooklyn Ren. I don't want to say anything harsh or rash or out of this world. Might be better than Brooklyn Ren. I don't want to jump the gun, Wallpaper Settings, but might be better. All right, I'm going to watch this Tanner Tremblay, Alexandria fight then. Because this guy looks pretty nasty. This Tremblay guy. Because he hurts him badly instantly. He's doing some weird crane kicks, though. Good step in, right? Clinch him when he hurts him, though. Kind of an idiot. Didn't need that. There we go. He's crafty in the clinch. Some crafty stuff. Bit of a crafty crafter. Red De La Cruz better than Brooklyn Ren? Really? Are you sitting by that, dude? We sitting down on that. I don't hate it, but I don't know. I don't know. That's like definitively, she is pretty good. You know what? The lady at LFA kind of looks like Red De La Cruz. The lady at LFA kind of looks like Red De La Cruz. First name's Red, too, by the way. Her first name's Red? Wait a minute, dude. I don't know, dude. Brooklyn Ren's pretty good, dude. "100% can't beat an Asian baddie." I mean, dude. Well, then look at the LFA lady, dude. She's very Brooklyn Ren-esque. She may be the lower evolution of Brooklyn Ren. And that's her wearing leggings, too. I don't know, dude. She's kind of mocking right now. She's kind of. She looks right in the camera, too, dude. I don't know. I keep on trying to watch this fight. I just go back. I just go back to this lady, dude. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop staring. Jiri's my best friend. I won't tell you what he's got coming up. Hey, 10-7 MMA. Is it possibly Paulo Costa for the... If it's interim, by the way, if it's an interim belt, like if it's Paulo Costa with the interim belt for UFC 320 or 332, I will lose my mind. 10-7, all right? The 10-7, you don't have to say anything. Driving, can't check it right now? Okay. Don't crash, dude. Don't crash, dude. I know you're upside down in Australia. Good joke by me. But the 10-7, if it's Jiri Costa at 332, we were talking about this earlier. If it's not for the vacant belt, I'm making a video slandering Carlos Ulberg. I'm sorry, Wallpaper Settings. I know you're friends with Carlos Ulberg. You and him hang out every day. I will be slandering Carlos Ulberg as a coward if he does not vacate his belt with a bad injury, like Jiri Prochazka did, like Jamal Hill did. I just will. It needs to be done. But again, 10-7 MMA, I wouldn't want you to divulge any information that you can't, but nod, you know what I'm saying? Like a cheeky nod, a cheeky nudge. Don't get distracted by my super red nose pimple, dude. F. Carlos, hey, dude. Don't say, dude. Wallpaper Settings is Australian, so he may. I don't know. Wallpaper Settings. I don't know your thoughts on Ulberg. I don't know your thoughts. You have IG? I do. Actually, I don't know if I have. I tried to set up an IG account for my thing. Oh, I did. It's just by the numbers. I don't like Ulberg. He's from New Zealand, not Australia. Oh, I just did racism. I just did Australian racism. I'm sorry, Wallpaper Settings. I just did Australian racism. Just blatantly. And you know what, dude? I'm done. It's by the numbers, but no E in the numbers, by the way. The 10-7. And no I also have no photo. Can I have Did I add me the 10-7 MMA? Jiri follows us? What? Alright, watch this. Okay, how do I add somebody on Instagram? I don't do this, dude. The 10-7 MMA. Okay, I followed. Do you have Jiri? I gotta check. Oh, won't let me search? Did they remove the searching icon? Anyways, Wallpaper Settings, I apologize for being Australian racist. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. Okay, you added me the 10-7. I'm very official on Instagram, just so you know. Didn't create it a couple days ago, or whenever I created it. I didn't, dude. I didn't. I'm a professional businessman. 10-7, what did you think of Islam, Gary? Out of 10, what are we rating it? I think it's a solid 6.3 fight. 5-3. 5-3. It's a solid 5-3. I think it was a little bit better on the first watch because it's suspenseful. It's an Islam fight. And the round 2 head kick's cool. And the Gary starting kind of to piece together his on the feet, what he can do on the feet and what he can get away with. And then him head kicking Islam and breaking his nose in the third. You can check him, Tony Ferguson, a bunch of fighters. How are you getting these connections, 10-7? You just go, bam. 6 out of 10? We're close. We were close. 6 out of 10 performance. I think it definitely, if I'm being honest, I'm choosing Prates to KO Islam out in round 2. I just am. I'm choosing Carlos Prates to KO Islam out in round 2. Carlos Prates actually has some really good single leg defense if you really think about it. If you really think about it. 4 out of 10. Crap fight, only one big moment. That's true. That's true. We plugged up, gang? Okay, dude. Okay. Well, now you also have probably the biggest YouTuber plugged up, too. So you're welcome, dude. You're welcome. I got you. I got you, dude. Yeah, that was, I think the one big moment was sick, but it also was like, why did he do what upsets me is Islam head kicks Gary. Gary's wobbled. He does the head and arm throw, and then he's like, if he did that head and arm throw and just started elbowing Ian Gary, he probably would have gotten a TKO in round 2. Am I wrong? Let me rewatch it, but I feel like if Islam does the head and arm throw on Ian Gary, starts elbowing or doing some ground and pound, he probably KOs Gary in the second. He probably does. Let me watch this back. Let me watch this back real quick. Imagine a process called Islam really, really badly with the spinning out. Like something I knew. Wallpaper settings. Process the type of guy to flying knee KO Islam. Like he just is the type of guy. Flying knee KO. Flying knee. Like a nasty one too. Where like it like shatters his jaw or something just disgusting. That's like practice is just that dangerous, dude. And the thing is, I've said this earlier why I think he'd beat Ian Gary in a rematch. He used to take a while to get into his like flow state where he starts really grabbing both hands and just kind of low kicking heavily and just kind of flowing and being able to do what he wants a lot easier with more intention and more damage. It used to take him 2 or 3 rounds to really get into that flow state. But recently, dude, after the Ian Gary loss, he gets in the flow state like that. Jeff Neal, it took him about all of round 1 to get in the flow state. Boom. Or Edwards, it takes him about round 1, halfway in round 2. Boom, gets him. JDM, he was instantly in that flow state of just, I can do whatever I want. And maybe it's just because JDM's not going to age the best. I still think he is decent. But I don't know, dude. He just looks so nasty against JDM. All right, let's see this head kick KO. Let's see this head kick in round 2. Okay. Also, Ian Gary doing that is a beautiful head kick, though. To be fair, Wallpaper says probably one of the most beautiful head kicks ever from Islam. I'm not gonna lie. This has to be the head kick around here. Yeah, it's near here. Okay. So Islam is the GOAT for sure. He really is. Armando Garcia. He really is the GOAT. It's just kind of lame how he's achieving GOAT status, if I'm being honest. He is the GOAT. He's cool. He's had fun fights, but the way he's achieving GOAT status is kind of lame. At least these last 2 fights. I hope his next fight he gets a finish. So I can really kind of put this to rest, but okay. So at 2:30, he hits Gary with the nasty head kick in round 2. Separate, right hand, lead head kick, nasty stuff. Just such a beautiful sequence, though. I just got to rewatch this head kick, dude. Right hand, rear head kick, actually. He kind of steps into it. Does he switch stances with that head kick? Because it looks like he's southpaw. Yeah, from southpaw. Rear hand kind of just clubs the back of Ian Gary's neck. He thinks he's out of range, and he steps through with it. Nasty stuff. So he hurts Ian Gary. I got to get you on the pre-show one of these weeks if you're ever down. Hey, I'm always down, dude. I'd appreciate it, man. As you can tell, I'm super busy though, with like my 1 videos a week. But this week, dude, we're getting on it. My college classes started back up. I almost did a car video today, which is a video that I do in between classes in my car. But I didn't have Wi-Fi from the parking lot. Unacceptable. Unacceptable, college. Come on, dude. But I would love to 10-7 MMA. Right hand, so lead hook. He follows up. Dude, Islam, you can tell Islam doesn't really train finishing sequence because look at what he does after he head kicks Gary. What's your top 10 of all time? Fighters? I started watching UFC last year, so it's going to be a lot of new gen. I apologize if you're an older fan, but I don't think you can put Anderson Silva, John Jones, even GSP. I really don't rate his wins. Just from the looks of it and how he's lost to Matt Hughes. I know he avenged his losses, but you shouldn't be losing to those kind of guys. So it'd probably be Islam 1. I do think DJ's underrated. DJ's legacy is underrated just because of how skillful the flyweight division is. And you've seen it. The flyweight division still isn't like the old guard is already gone. Like Tim Elliott's still kicking it. Kai Asakura, Manel Cap lost to Kyogi Horiguchi back in the day, and that's DJ's one of DJ's things. So I think it'd be Islam, Volkanovski, then like a DJ. If then maybe I'd put like a GSP. Who'd be 5? I don't know about like these old. Like I know like some people say Fedor. I'd probably say Stipe at 5. Stipe's underrated legacy, but DC's also underrated legacy. Uh, I don't rate Habib either, dude. If I'm being honest. So that's what, like, if I put Stipe at 5, 6, I think Oliveira, especially with this new run, very, very underrated legacy. If he gets the belt back, dude, and he defends a couple times, we're gonna have some talks about Oliveira soon. So Oliveira may be a fringe 8 or 9 or 10 or 11. Holloway the same, even though his career hasn't turned out as well. Following that logic, Islam's not the GOAT because he lost to Adriano Martes. For me, St. Pierre's top 3. Well, the thing is, Armando Garcia, Islam lost to Adriano Martins in what, his 3rd UFC fight? I want to say, let me look. I'm pretty sure Islam lost to Adriano Martins in his like 3rd UFC fight, something along the lines. Whereas GSP lost title fights to Matt Hughes, Matt Serra, I think. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit of a different loss. Like I get what you're saying, and again, it's just I've never really watched a GSP fight. I don't really know his legacy that much, so it very much may be just me being ignorant in terms of not looking at past history. But also not including Jones or Anderson Silva because of the PED allegations. You just can't be have PED allegations or lose that much for Anderson Silva's case. I think Adesanya had some good claim to a top 10, but he's lost it with all these losses. So his Adriano Martins KO'd Islam in his 2nd UFC fight. George St. Pierre. So he's 26-2, crazy stuff. So Matt Serra, he loses the belt. And Matt Hughes, he gets armbarred. So Matt Hughes, I get it. Jones Silva, I agree, cannot be one of the best cheating. Also, just for Silva, he lost way too much. Like, you can't just completely ignore, even though he was out of his prime and stuff, you can't just ignore him losing a whole bunch of fights in the UFC because he stuck around way too late. But it's just Matt Serra, dude. Gets KO'd in round 1 when was this? So he beats Matt Hughes, gets it back. It is a crazy and insanely impressive record. But then Bisping's not the best defense in terms of getting the middleweight belt. But 10 defenses is kind of crazy. I'd probably have GSP, even though I don't rate him that high, even out of respect. You probably have to have him as a... I'd probably put him at 6 or 5 then. Armando Garcia. So what did I say? Islam, Volk, DJ. Who did I say for number 4? Maybe GSP's 4 then. Nah, I'm good. GSP's probably number 4 then, now that I'm thinking about it. His record does look pretty good, if we're being honest. So if GSP's 4, 5, I'd probably either put Stipe or DC. DC's hard because he's the first to get a double champ and defend both, but it was against like Derek Lewis. Stipe beating Ngannou, had that run. I don't get Fedor. I don't get the Fedor hype. He wasn't in the UFC, so I don't really get it. Dominic Cruz, no. Merab, honestly, Merab is probably 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. Probably more in the 8. But he did have a crazy run, dude. Beating Umar, such a good win. O'Malley, such a good win. That first Sean fight, you can say injury all you want, but that was still a very good win. Merab is underrated in the GOAT status. Like, if you're a GOAT of your division, you got to be a top 10 at least, you know? So if Islam's the GOAT of lightweight, Pereira honestly is, but Pereira probably fell off to like a 12 or 13. So let's hammer this down. Let's hammer this down. Choo! King Car France is back. What if Islam wins against Carlos Morales and Shafkat? He's like the GOAT times a million, dude. If he wins against even one of those, MJ Diaz, if he wins against one of those, he is like confirmed the GOAT. John Jones is not the GOAT, King Car France. It's the drug. It's the drug. If he didn't have any steroids, I'd agree. But the steroid problems, you can't have him as a GOAT. Same way I wouldn't rate Silva. I'm not going to rate Silva too highly. I know Islam had like that steroid test, but it was for heart, apparently, even though a lot of people from Dagestan have that same heart medication that gets popped for steroids. Just so happens, but you know. What do you say about King Car France? If he is, I already beat you to it. Already beat you to it. I knew you were going to say that. I already beat you to it. Islam, again, that was for heart medication. Once, by the way. Once. Never happened again. John Jones got popped for steroids 4 or 5 times, I want to say. Like the Gustafsson rematch is an illegal substance. The heart medication? Islam Makhachev PED suspension. Let's see what it says. Banned substance. Islam was never suspended for performance-enhancing drugs. He received a brief provisional suspension in April 2016. Tested positive for meldonium, but the U.S. anti-doping agency USADA fully cleared him an expansion later, ruling he bore no fault at negligence because he had used medication legally prior to the substance being banned. Hey, you think commission are taking plans to rush just a test? Probably not, but you think I just think if you look at like he got popped in 2016, you think he'd pop again? He wouldn't pop again? Like John Jones was popping in title fight reigns. Like John Jones was popping during title fights. Islam popped in 2016 when he was fighting bum number 3. UFC bum number 3. Hey, cutie. Hello, Mr. Manny Marion. I am hoping you're a girl. I don't think you're a girl, but in my mind, you'll just be a girl. So it'll be less of sexual assault. Never make videos in front of a white wall is my advice to you. Lost Soul May. This is a gray wall. Does this count? Does this count? And does my white shirt count? So happen by your logic? Yes, but I'm a straight male. Dude. Well, then don't say, hey, cutie. If you're straight, why are you saying, hey, cutie? If Jones is the GOAT because he popped, Islam can't be either. So Volk would have to be your GOAT. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. For you, who's the GOAT of 125, DJ or Pantoja? DJ. Pantoja's title run's honestly kind of fraudulent. Moreno, a couple times. Kaya Sakura, who they brought in from Ryzen. Kai Kara France. No offense, King Kara France, but Kai Kara France lost to Pantoja and disappeared off the face of the earth. The Roy Val win's good. The Cap win, in hindsight's very, very good. The Urseg win, his tough as nails, really close fight that he could have arguably lost to. Pantoja arguably loses to Urseg. Not the best looking loss. I know DJ was having some tough times early, but if you think about what he was doing, flying armbar, Cejudo needed the body. He arguably beat Cejudo the second time. I think DJ's probably better of a GOAT if you really think about it. You think Merab taps Nina? I'd be surprised if he didn't. I'd be surprised if a lot of these people hanging out with Nina haven't, Like her, I could not be surprised if her and Dana White. Dana White's gay though. I'm sorry, King Cara France. It just had to be said. It had to be said. I didn't want to pull that out, the King Cara France. I didn't want to pull it out. But you made me argue for Islam, which, by the way, if I'm not going to count Jones for PEDs, even though it's different because Jones popped for PEDs during his title reigns, and Islam popped for PEDs in 2016 when he was fighting Bum McGee. DJ's not even top 25, arguably. All right, this guy's lost his mind. Why haven't they announced 322? I texted Dana about this to Dana on IG, but he hasn't replied. Should I DM like someone like Hunter? Manny Marion, I'm going to break news to you. It's Jiri Prochazka, Paulo Costa for the vacant light heavyweight belt, and Shevchenko Silva. I asked Dana earlier today. He told me that. So no need to worry, Manny Marion. That's what I was told. Islam the Goldie has belt on two of the hardest divisions, light heavyweight and heavyweight is not and wasn't that stacked. That's true too. And against Dub Jones. Yeah, not 25 is kind of crazy, Lost Soul MMA. Kind of crazy. DJ, I have top 3. If you remove Islam, he's top 2. His underrated legacy. Underrated. Let's look at it. Demetrius Johnson. 25-4-1. Why would Jiri fight for another belt? Because the UFC loves him. Yuri's not fighting for another belt. He is, dude. The UFC loves him, dude. They don't care. Dude, what is Mighty Mouse's Tapology photo? What is that photo? If you haven't seen Mighty Mouse's Tapology photo, do yourself a favor, don't look at it. DJ's resume was awful. He gets glazed because fans want to seem cool for going against the UFC. DJ glaze is not real. DJ's in top 5, but not 25 is crazy. Well, if you even think about it, he beats Rogtang and custom Muay Thai rules. I think that adds to legacy. He gets TKO'd by Adriano Morales, not used to the grounded knee rules, but he beats him back twice. So he avenged his losses against Adriano Morales in a different promotion, right? And then he arguably beat Cejudo. That Cejudo rematch was arguably a robbery for DJ. Does the flying armbar for Borg. Tim Elliott's a really good win. The first Cejudo KO was pretty good. Kyogi Horiguchi's a crazy good win. John Dodson's a decent win. He did decently later. Joseph Benavidez, not that bad. He even had some good fights at bantamweight when he was undersized. I know he lost to Brad Pickett and Cruz. That was when he was undersized. He had 12 title fights in a row. 12 title fights. He won 11 title fights in a row at flyweight. Which even if you don't, I feel like flyweight is just so skilled. Like flyweights, you can't agree they've gotten more skilled over time. But I feel like flyweights are the division that hasn't, like, they've always been this high level. Like you've seen welterweight and middleweight and light heavyweight kind of gradually increase. But I feel like flyweight's the only one where it's kind of stayed the same in terms of skill level. Of course, there is an increase, but I don't think there's like a crazy massive gap compared to the other divisions. For example, DJ is really greater than RDA. Dude, I'm not putting someone who lost to Adriano Moraes on top 5 MMA fighters ever, but are you putting GSP, who lost to Matt Serra and Matt Hughes, King Cara France? By that logic, you can't put GSP on your GOAT list in your top 5. If we're going to do this back and forth. Can you do an impression of Conor when he's at a UFC backstage and spots Ali Abdelaziz, so he rushes to Jiri while Jiri is eating ant-filled leaf, then Jiri says, "I'm coming," while Merab passes by with Nina. "I'm Conor McGregor. I'm backstage at a UFC event. Is that bald-headed Ali Abdelaziz? Hey, Jiri, come over here. Let's go for that. Nom, nom, nom. Let's eat that. Merab. Hey, Nina." There you go. Think about it. Dotson is a fart in the wind on Merab's resume, but a highlight on DJ's. That's disgusting. Tadpole GSP was a veteran DJ. GSP isn't on my top 4. Habib is top 10 all time. I think he's top 15, King Car Friends. I don't know if he's top 10. I'm not sure about top 10. Tadpole GSP, he fought GSP. I know you. Adrian Morales knocked out DJ at the end of his career, but it was the grounded knee rule difference. Grounded knee rule difference. If we're being honest. Jiri won't be champ again. He's closer to the 2. He lost to the light heavyweight than being champ again. After the Gaethje bump, he got wind over. After the Gaethje win, he got bumped over DC. That is fair. The Gaethje win is aging very well. I just think I wish he fought Moraes. I think he retired very, very soon. Topuria not even, I think, top 15. He's not. Topuria's not top 20 on the GOAT list. I think in terms of rising star, he's very high, but GOAT list, I think you really need to defend. I think defends are that's why I think I rate DJ maybe too highly in your opinion. I really rate defenses, title defenses. I really, really rate it. Now, maybe he's not top 10. He's overrated for that MC win. But Armando Garcia, I don't know if Paulo. I don't know if you all know this, but there is the Josh Hockett curse, the Incredible Hawk curse, and Paulo Costa is probably under effect of it. If he fights Jiri Prochazka, I'm probably going to pick Jiri Prochazka to knock out Paulo Costa. If we're being honest, Paulo Costa is destined to have destruction upon his life for having the Josh Hockett curse upon him. DJ Glaze is crazy. Like, no one ever mentions who he beat, so it's always about the numbers. There are like 100 fighters with better resumes than DJ. Again, I just like title defenses, man. I don't know. Maybe that's just something where I'm that's just what is making me stuck on it. But I like title defenses. He beat Charles, Volk, and Max, dude. That's a great 3-win piece. But if you look back at it, he beat Volk after Volk got knocked out by Islam and come back really short. He beat Holloway, knocked out Holloway after Holloway had fought at lightweight and then weight cut down really quick to back down to featherweight. And then the Oliveira win is a great win. I'm not gonna lie, but the Volk and Max win, if you do put it to context, it's not as good as it is. Jalen Turner's title shot after that KO. I think he deserves Drew Dober. At least top 15, he beat Volk top 3 ever, Max top 15 ever, Charles top 15 ever. Hey bro, hello, Mr. Shift Creeko. Where do you put Adesanya all the time if you love title wins? He's lost a lot recently is the thing, Kaikar France. I was saying this earlier. If Adesanya retired after losing to like, I'd say after the DDP loss, I'd rate him highly, but he's lost 4 fights in a row, getting knocked out in 2. Volk signed on the dotted line. I know that's not his fault, but if you put it to context, you know, like Volk signed on the dotted line for the Islam rematch. Are we really going to say the Islam rematch is really adding to Islam's legacy? The Volk Islam 2 head kick KO. Are we saying that's adding to his legacy? I don't know. At this point, I think Yuri's chin won't be able the same after Pereira. I know, but Costa has the Josh Hockett curse on him. Like, there's a legit argument Mousasi is greater than DJ. All right. Lost soul MMA. You've lost your mind. Max was always a 145er. Literally made his career off being a 145er dude. Until Max went down after having multiple fights at 155. I'm not saying Holloway was a lightweight and he went down to featherweight, but you have to admit, let's see, what was the difference in Max Holloway fighting Gaethje and then fighting Topuria? How long? I'm not saying those wins are excused and don't make Topuria great. He is great, but you have to think it. There is. So April 13th, he knocked out Gaethje. Then he fights Topuria in October. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 6 months. Decent from fighting at 155 to 145. I think that's. I don't know. So when Anderson Silva for you, he's not on the list, King Car France. He lost a whole bunch of times. Also the PEDs. We talked about PEDs, King Car France. Anderson Silva's not on there. He's not on the GOAT list, dude. Pop for PEDs. Connor says Dana 60 G's, baby, then proceeds to go to Las Vegas and starts to find Habib. When he finds him, he throws a chair on his bus, but his Habib and Umar beat his friend before. That's true. That's true. They cornered Connor's friend in the hotel. No one's ever beat Volk at 145 besides Ilya, dude. Yes, but again, we have to talk about context. Ilya beat Volk coming off. Again, I know you said that Volk signed on that dotted line. And maybe it's just the fact that the Gaethje performance has me so low because he looked so off on the Gaethje performance. So that's really dragging him down. But I don't know, dude. I just can't get over all of these things that add up perfectly. Again, Ilya's a great fighter. He looked amazing against Holloway. He looked amazing against Volk. That was amazing fights. But I think those 3 wins don't, with no title defenses, I know he's a double champ now. I'd probably have him fringe top 20. I think Ilya's probably a top 20, 21 guy. Maybe top 15, but even then, I think Oliveira is probably higher than Topuria, Volk, Holloway. They're all higher than Topuria. Even though Topuria's beating them, they're all higher than them. I missed some stuff. DJ has more comparable resumes to Paddy Pimblett than he does Islam, Ilya, or Merabs or Jones. Again, 13 title defenses, dude, is crazy, though. 11 title fights in a row is crazy, in my opinion, Lost Soul MMA. Connor stood for his friend Habib as the bully here. True. And he crypto scams. Habib crypto scams people. Don't forget. Jiri has the Josh Hockett curse. What do you mean, bro? Hockett and Costa are cool. Oh, I forgot. Jiri did. Well, Jiri's already had the Josh Hockett curse, though, King Car France. Do you think it's a permanent thing? I thought it was like a one-time thing. But Costa was, if you haven't seen, Costa's been beefing with Hockett because he stole his bonus. And they've been talking about, hey, meet me at heavyweight, or I'll meet you at light heavyweight or something. Hockett and Jiri got beef. They do. King Car, just chill, bro. That's only 7 months. Not bad at all. Actually called out Ilya too. Max called for that fight at 145. He's still the only guy to finish prime Max. That is true. I will say he did. People who say that Max was washed are stupid. Ilya did finish prime Max. Like I said, the Max fight was really good. The Charles fight was really good. I just don't think. I think it still puts him at 15. I think you need to defend. I think he got Josh Emmett, beat Josh Emmett for a title fight. Bryce Mitchell. Besides, once you get past, again, Holloway, Volk, Oliveira are a crazy 3. But then once you get past that, Bryce Mitchell, Emmett, Yusuf Zalal, Ryan Hall, you know what I'm saying? Nah, but for real, Ian is a future champ. That's true. But Prata smokes Ian out cold. Armando Garcia. Completely disagree. Ilya only lost to Gaethje because Gaethje eye poke him. He does do this weird thing where he really makes sure to hit you at the edge of the punch. Ilya passed Charles and Max after the Charles win? I don't think so, dude. Max had a crazy win streak at 145. Crazy win streak. Oliveira is on the resurgence now. On top of his crazy 12-fight win streak. And Oliveira's only lost to Islam and Ilya Topuria. And now he's on the comeback. He's beating Max Holloway. He's beating Gamrot. He's beating one other person. Arguably beat Arman Sarukian. Think he'd beat Arman Sarukian if he rematches Arman Sarukian. John Jones is the GOAT. He can't be the joke. Mark Casado fan. Pop for roids. Ilya top 3 for me. Why Hockett not fighting? I thought he'll be active as Makhachev. Hockett's not fighting probably because the UFC's holding him. He has a star, so they're gonna try and hold him. If they did Volkov Pavlovich, did they do Volkov Pavlovich? Or no, they did. What did they do for UFC 333? They did Volkov Kuniev. So it's either Hockett Pavlovich or they're just gonna bite the bullet and do Hockett Pereira, which is sick. I can, like I said, I think Ilya's 20 to 15. If I'm being honest. King Car France. I just think he it's the same thing with McGregor. I know he had better wins, but McGregor beat Aldo, and then he beat Alvarez, and then he beat who's the other person McGregor beat on that crazy win streak that McGregor had and stuff, and he looked at the top of the world. But losing to Justin Gaethje at that age is also awful for your legacy. If I'm being honest, he should not have lost to Justin Gaethje with Gaethje being basically 40. You know, Holloway beat Gaethje. So that obviously means that Holloway's better. No, I'm joking. But still, it's not a good look in terms of GOAT status. If Ilya beat Gaethje easily, boom. But I don't know why Hackett. Imagine Hackett actually beats Pereira. I honestly think Hackett beats Pereira with how slow Pereira looks. He beats Pereira in my opinion. Hackett becomes champ. Alex probably retires. Hackett takes over UFC. John Jones sneaky returns to fight Hackett. Hackett smokes John Jones too. Then Dana Hackett makes out. I'm happy. You know what? Besides that last little bit, Manny Marion, I like that. Hockey does awful things to Pereira. I agree. Where's Pereira for you all time? It's difficult. It's difficult because really, he technically is the light heavyweight GOAT if you exclude Jones because of the PEDs. But it is hard because he is kind of cherry picked. His title defenses are Roundtree, Jiri twice, Jamal Hill. The Ankalaev one I think is going to age well. The rematch and the first fight was very close. Pereira's probably below Ilya though, if I'm being honest. Ilya's probably, let's say Ilya's 14, Pereira's 15. I think that's fair. Again, this is me doing it off the top of my head. So this GOAT list isn't a well thought out pen to paper. This is just me thinking as I go, if I'm being honest. This is the first time I've ever really thought about it, put it to word of mouth. No, Gaethje's elite. Are you dumb? He is elite, but he is 40. Gaethje's 40. Pereira top 4, Ilya top 3. Manny Marion. Josh Hockett's actually my GOAT, if we're being honest. Josh Hockett's my GOAT. You speak of Ilya got absolutely smoked by Justin. It was a close war. Justin almost lost, simple as. That is true. He did, it was a war, but he got TKO'd finished in the 4th, dude. And got beat up badly after that 3rd round. I know he almost TKO'd Gaethje. Gaethje has a very good legacy too. But Oliveira wouldn't lose to Gaethje that way. Like if you think about all these top level fighters who's beaten Gaethje, like Gaethje was never supposed to be a top level championship fighter. He is very underrated in legacy wise, but you've seen when Gaethje gets put against these elite of the elite, Oliveira gets submitted in round 1, Habib gets submitted round 2 or 3 or whatever. Holloway gets demolished and outpointed for 5 rounds. You know, like Gaethje's never really been a super elite top of the level championship level contender in my opinion. And I'm American, dude. I love Gaethje, but I don't know if Gaethje really should be a lightweight champion. I think he's probably better than Dustin. I don't know. Him and Dustin are close, and Dustin wasn't championship level material either. Interim champion, maybe. He beat Ferguson when Ferguson, that Ferguson win was a good win, but he was training for Habib. It was short notice for Ferguson, I think. I don't know. It's tough. A lot of this is, if to be fair, a lot of MMA is hindsight, like hindsight's 2020. So a lot of MMA fights and fighters in general age pretty poorly in general. I'd say Pereira is barely better than DC at 205. Yeah, I think Pereira just in terms of, but DC, you are right. DC is a good 205. I think DC would probably be better at a heavyweight, his heavyweight form. But he lost to Jones twice. But Pereira, they lost to Ankalaev, but he then redeemed it. It's close between Pereira and DC. I just think Pereira edges out slightly with the Ankalaev one. I think the Ankalaev one really carries Pereira legacy, if I'm being honest. Especially how he beat Ankalaev. I know Ankalaev had a broken rib. That photo suddenly comes out after he gets KO'd in the first. But I think that Ankalaev win for Pereira is really going to age well. I think Ankalaev is probably going to be a champion again. I don't know if he beats Olberg. That's a close fight, but he probably beats Jiri with how Jiri rushes in like a tard. Maybe beats Paulo Costa, but Paulo Costa could beat Ankalaev. I could see it. Roundtree's a good striker. What, bruh? Roundtree's good, but you saw it against Jiri, the difference in striking between Roundtree and Olberg. You know, like, Roundtree's good, but he whooped upon Jamal Hill, but Jamal Hill honestly is not that good. He whooped upon Jiri for 2, but then got KO'd. Isn't top 15? Alex isn't top 15? Really? I think he's fringe. Like I said, I'd probably put Ilya 14, Alex 15. I think he's exactly at top 15. Pereira needs to put on muscle. He looked fat and slow at heavyweight. He really does, Jax. That's why I'm thinking if Pereira looks the same as he does against Ghana, against Josh Hockett, Hockett is going to town on Pereira. Gaethje's top 20 of all time? I'd say 25. King Car, France. I'd think 25. Maybe 20. Maybe 20, actually. You could probably persuade me to put Gaethje top 20. The Topuria wins really, really holding him to it. Josh Hockett is sick. Who's next for the big hawk? I'm thinking Pereira. Life is random. I would love Pereira Hockett. I think he whoops up on Pereira, especially if Pereira looks as slow as he did. Rate my top 10 from 10 to 1. So Charlie is 10, Holloway's 9, GSP is 8, DC is 7, Mighty Mouse is 6, Silva is 5, Volk is 4, Pereira is 3, Ilias 2. Wait, did I read that wrong? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so there's 11 here. Unless I'm done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 12 here. It's 1 in the morning for me, so I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12. So that's top 12. So Charlie's 12, Holloway's 11, GSP's 10, 9's DC, 8's Mighty Mouse, 7 Silva, 8 Volk. No, sorry. 8 Silva, 7 Volk, 6 Pereira. Or is that's decent. Waldo or Pereira? Probably Pereira, dude. Waldo against Pavlovich just looks so timid against like a competent striker. No, Peter Yan and Marab's top 10 is crazy. That's true. I was saying this earlier. I'd probably have Marab over Yan right now. Right now, I have Marab over Yan because Marab beat O'Malley twice. Yan lost to O'Malley. Marab is probably like a 7 or 8 or 9. I'm leaving. Have a good night, bro. Have a good night, Armando Garcia. So now I've convinced you to put Ilya from 21 all the way to 14. I guess if again, Ilya's hard. Ilya's hard for me because I don't like the Gaethje loss. I think the Volk win is a lot of asterisks around that. You've convinced me the Holloway isn't as much of an asterisk, but I still think there's something there. Again, I don't have every single fighter listed out. Maybe I'll do a Lucas Tracy and make my GOAT list. So a lot of people are moving and flowing because I think a GOAT list can be fluid. Like I think there is a hard set 1, but like 4 or 2 to 5 is pretty fluid. That's easy to exchange. 5 to 10 is fluid. 10 to 15 is fluid, and like 15 to 20. I feel like those are all pretty fluid where you can kind of change them around. Again, if I wrote it down, I'd probably have a heavy set thing, but for now, I'm just kind of going off of what feels right. Heavyweight's actually so fun. Now we got Poten, Jamal Hill, Gable, Hockett, Gone, Aspinall. Like, bro, this is sick. Yeah, heavyweight's looking really good. Light heavyweight's honestly looking a little bleak, but hopefully Jamal Hill looks good at heavyweight. Pereira hopefully looks better at heavyweight the next time. But Gable hopefully is fun. Hockett's fun. Aspinall's fun. Gone is fun. It really is sick. Justin also beat 12 Tony. I did say that, but that is Tony who was, I think that was short notice, wasn't it? Or I know it was at least a Tony who was really training for a Khabib. And to be fair, but he did beat the crap out of Tony. Waldo too. Yeah, Waldo's a good heavyweight. You didn't even mention Pavlovich or Volkov, by the way. Mr. Life is Random. What are you filming with, brother? Genuine question. Looks nostalgic. Like my camera? It's a Logitech. What's your thoughts on 331 Van Pantoja? Dude, I'm Van all the way. I think Van is, if you're talking about the youngest like champions, Van is probably the most impressive young champion. He's doing it in a weight class that is so highly skilled while being a smaller guy, whereas Jones, being such a young champion, was doing it at light heavyweight, a very weak division at the time, while being like crazy genetically gifted. Van's doing it while being not the most genetically gifted in a crazy high skilled weight class. I had Yan beating O'Malley. I get that. I've never actually watched Yan O'Malley, if I'm being honest. King Car France. I've never watched Yan O'Malley. But I think did I miss a Oh, Life is Random. He means Anderson Silva, not Gene Silva. But I've never seen Yan O'Malley, if I'm being honest. But even then, on paper, he at least has he has lost to O'Malley on paper. I know it was arguably a robbery, I don't have a full opinion on it, but he still lost to O'Malley, whereas Merab beat him. So Merab is above Yan right now. Yan beats Merab the second time. You put Yan above Merab. Asterisk round 2 KO. How much better can it get, lol? What asterisk did I say? For Volk? Because the Volk fought Islam Makhachev a couple months before and got head kick KO'd off the couch and then instantly turns around and had that right, or he had like that forearm surgery or some arm surgery recently after that. That's the asterisk around the Volk win. Life is random. I'm at Silva Spider Casual. My goat list changes every month. That's fair. Besides like the clear number one, I feel like a goat list, anything below number one is very easily interchangeable for everybody because a lot of MMA is kind of what's it called? Like opinions. It is a lot of like, well, I thought this was very impressive. Like, again, my Mighty Mouse is going to be higher than yours. I'm not going to put Mighty Mouse at 1, but I do think he has underrated legacy because I prefer title defenses than big names. I think title defenses are crazy good. But again, like you said, it changed every month. It changed for everybody, I feel like. Low chill dude, nothing wrong with Gene. He's pretty good. Like, I won't judge you for putting Gene top 10. It's okay. You started watching UFC yesterday. When Volk beats Evloev, how long do you think he has left? It depends on how he beats Evloev. Jax, by the way, Volk Evloev is a lock. Volk against Evloev is a lock. Evloev looked awful against Murphy. Even though I do think Murphy's the type of guy who just flukes Volk. Spinning wheel kick just KOs Volk in the first with a fluke. But I think it depends. If Volk wants Gaethje, that could possibly work. If Volk wants like a Gene Silva coming off of the Yair Rodriguez win, that could work. It depends. But I think if he beats Evloev dominantly, which I think he will, I could even see him finishing Evloev. I think he does like 2 more fights if he wins. If he keeps on winning, I'd say 2 more fights after Evloev. Merab Khalil Roundtree rumored. That's a sick fight. Watch Yan O'Malley right now. I may. It's 1:30 in the morning. So, and I have class early tomorrow. So maybe tomorrow we'll watch Yan Merab on stream. Maybe that'll be it. No, Patchy Mix. Yeah, he's my cousin, so I'm not no casual. Patchy Mix might be number 3 on the GOAT list. Like Oscar should move up to heavyweight. It basically is subjective. That's the word, King Car France. Yan O'Malley wasn't a robbery. I had Yan winning, but it was a very close fight, though. Hi, where are you from, brother? The Believer, I am from. I'm from Mississippi. Is where I'm originally from. That's where I was born. Yan O'Malley wasn't a robbery. I had Yan winning, but it was a very close fight. That's what I've heard. Again, I haven't watched it, but I probably should. There's a lot of like close fights I haven't really watched, though, if I'm being honest. I've never watched Makhachev Volkanovski. I've never watched Oliveira Makhachev. Dude, I'm so hyped for Kavanaugh Central Asian homie. Kavanaugh Timarov, dude. Razaman Timarov. Base, dude. I mean, I hope Kavanaugh puts him out cold. I'm scared, though. Kavanaugh kind of went to a war, and now he's coming back pretty quick. I know he got submitted, but he was taking some crazy shots from Royval. Where I literally said Mississippi. You knew, dude. You knew the Mississippi accent, man. Dominic Reyes deserves title shot. He beat Habib. True. That's very true. Very, very true. Possibly the most true ever. It's 1:30. How long is Yan O'Malley's 15 minutes? We could probably watch Yan O'Malley. Oh, I was meaning to. Wallpaper settings isn't here. He isn't here. Can I watch Yan O'Malley from Fight Pass? If I can, I may watch it. Yan O'Malley. Let me know. I may watch it right now. Yeah, let's watch Yan O'Malley. Where are you from? Also, MMA content creator, 6.2 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers. Oh, nice. I'm from Mississippi, Mr. Combat Core. From Mississippi. I was born there. No, dude, Brandon is very good. Don't worry for Loner. I still like the short Central Asian dude's fight style. It's so sick. Yeah, but he popped for steroids. It's on YouTube. I'm looking at Fight Pass right now. I have it pulled up. What do you think of Roundtree Lopez? If you mean Oliveira Lopez, sick fight. I mean Roundtree Lopez. I think Lopez unironically changed Roundtree. I want to see Timarov win, but he popped for roids, Life is Random. He popped for roids. And he knocked out our poor nerd, UFC nerd, Steve Urseg, dude. He knocked out Urseg so bad, the next time he speaks, he may not have a lisp anymore. Now I go watch Volk Islam. No way I haven't watched it. Arguably the top 3 most skilled fights ever. I haven't watched it. I'm trying to think of other crazy fights I haven't watched. Again, I started watching UFC. I started hardcore in UFC at UFC 322. That's my first hardcore UFC card, where like I really dug into everybody. I casually started watching UFC. When did he pop? After Charles Johnson. He popped after he fought Charles Johnson. I think they turned it to a no contest. Mr. Life is Random. Unfortunate. He's a cool fighter. He's got big KO power, but Manel, to be fair, Manel Cap's on steroids and nothing, Volk Islam was just a one-side beatdown, nothing close. Okay. I've never really fully watched Holloway Gaethje. It looks like the Smith plays a little. The Smith plays? Let me see this. Yeah, I'm about to watch. This may be the last time I talk to Chad in a while because I have to watch this Yan O'Malley. Urseg does. He looks like the Smith plays younger brother. The younger brother. The Smith plays younger brother, dude. 75 win streak. Islam. Just got that. Just achieved that in the lamest way possible, but he did achieve it. What do you do for work? I work at Walmart, which is why I try not to give too much personal information so I can say some stuff and not get fired, hopefully. Habib 29 wins, no one can beat it. Lol. 29 wins. 15 were against people who just learned to breathe and walk, but that's still 29 wins, dude. 15 of those wins are people that just learned to walk yesterday, though. All right, let's watch O'Malley Yan. Don't answer those questions, bro. Which one? I'm a sub to you. Thank you, Mr. Life is Random. All right, let's watch Yan O'Malley. No more chat, dude. All right, after I watch Yan O'Malley, we'll talk about what I think about Yan O'Malley for a bit, and then I'm gonna have to go to bed. I have class at 8 in the morning. It's 1:30 in the morning. Personal questions? That's true. I need to stop doing that. Well, I'm not in Mississippi anymore. It's the thing, King Car, France. Okay, I'm watching O'Malley. Yeah, that's true. But the dominance over his UFC opponents was so crazy. I don't really care about his past opponents. That's fair. It is crazy how dominant he was against like Dustin and Gaethje, and I just wish he fought Oliveira. I really wish Habib fought Oliveira. I really wish we got to see that, but we didn't get to. That's honestly the biggest miss. I've never watched any Habib fights. I've never seen Habib McGregor. Never seen McGregor Habib. Never seen it. Yan does have aura, though. He's 4'2", but Yan does have aura. They gave him half an inch in height. That's so cute. They said we can't say he's 5'7". We got to have him 5'7.5". Gotta watch Ngannou, Derek Lewis, best fight of all time. Hey, Alter BZ, you're banned, pal. How about that? You think about you? What about you being banned? That may be the best fight of all time. I know about Ngannou Lewis. Yan is tough. He is kind of tough, dude. I'm excited for him. Actually, let me put on a real quick crud. Let me put on a timer so I know where I'm at. Watch this. Isn't it crazy? I can just do this. Watch this, dude. What music do you like, dude? I'm a country music guy. I'm a country music man, dude. Listen to Brooks and Dunn. Changes your life. What color do we want? Pink for O'Malley's hair, or do we do red for Yan's shorts? What color do we prefer? Can I make a poll? Start a poll. What timer color red, pink. All right, vote. Vote. What poll do we want? Dude, have you seen the clip where Yan is like, my son told me brother? I have not seen that. Vote in the poll. What color? I have 3 votes for red. Red looks like it's winning it. Let me get the right color. He kind of had a bit of a dark red. That's almost half my viewers voted red, so we're going to go with red. What are we thinking of that red? That looks close to the shorts, maybe a little bit lighter. Hello, T. Hello, Mr. Leah Gumballs. My son told me brother wanted the Fs. Okay, that will have to be a clip that I watch. Peter Yan, his son telling him that. You know what? I did actually watch Yan Figueiredo. That was one of my first fight nights. The fight night China. Yan Figueiredo was a sick fight, dude. So funny when Yan's sons talked on the mic. That was so cute. He cried a bit. Okay, what fight was that after? And is this the right red? 4 votes. It's more than half the chat. Boom. There's a golden retriever in chat. That is truly a gumballs. You have to pick for any 2 from Mighty Mouse, John Jones, Jiri, Roundtree, Habib. You can research on ancient fights, but you have to leave in helicopter. The thing is, Dana White, Conor McGregor might call out Habib. Manny Marion is on drugs. Leah Gumball, so that's kind of why they're like this. Is this the right red? Are we in agreement that this is the right red? Okay. I just felt proud for Yan, man. It's hard not to, dude. Okay. I'm about to start round 1. I think that's the right red of his shorts. Manny English, please. Not possible. Yan O'Malley, round 1 begins. I will not be commentating. Should I commentate? Low kick from Yan right there with the right hand. Low kick from Yan again. Low kick from O'Malley. O'Malley very skittish right now, dude. Oblique kick from Yan. Body kick from O'Malley misses. Are you going to leave us here, man? Come on. I'm still here. Piotr Yan! I'm watching Yan O'Malley right now, though. Front kick to the body from O'Malley. That landed. Low kick from Yan. Nasty low kick. I'm just watching Yan O'Malley right now so I can get research. I need to watch this, apparently. You have the timer. I'm commentating. Body kick from Yan. Left hook misses. She walked into spiderweb. GG's. Yeah, you're done, pal. Left hand from O'Malley. That was good. Eye poke. Yeah. King Car Francis done. Ooh, nasty body kick from Yan. Low kick from O'Malley back. Jab from O'Malley. May have landed. You give me John F. Kennedy vibes, bro. Hopefully not how he ends. Watch your fingers, Yan. Herzog looks so tiny. JFK is cool. Thank you. Well, I just hope I don't have his same ending. That was a good oblique kick, right hand from O'Malley. Body kick from Yan again. Those are some nasty body kicks from Yan. Oblique kick from O'Malley. Low kick from O'Malley. Lead hook from Yan misses. That was close. That was good right hand from O'Malley. Ooh, nasty body kick again. It's probably Yan's round right now. Oh, dude, Yan is swinging, though. Low kick from Yan. Oblique kick from O'Malley. Sorry, front kick to the body. Jab from O'Malley. That one landed decent. First shot from Yan. O'Malley may have grabbed the cage right there. Did he grab the cage? Stomps to the foot from Yan. O'Malley gets reverses. They separate. Okay. Left hand kind of clips Yan from O'Malley. Both miss on that with the rights. Low kick from Yan misses. Oblique kick from O'Malley. Right hand to the body misses from Yan. Ooh, that was a decent left hand from Yan. I don't know how well it landed, but it looked decent. Oblique kick from Yan. Lead hooks from Yan. None of those really landed, though, to be fair. Double leg. Gets it. Dumps O'Malley. Yeah, this is definitely a Yan round one. They give O'Malley round one? Oh my goodness, yeah. Picks him up too. JFK is cool, by the way. I think the hair really carries me looking like JFK. What illegal site you signed, bro? I'm using Fight Pass to watch Yan O'Malley. It's also on YouTube, apparently, if you want to watch it with me. Left hand misses from O'Malley. O'Malley can win this back if he lands something big, though, to be fair. He's like, low kick from Yan. Body kick from O'Malley. That was decent. 2 misses from O'Malley on the guard. That was a good one. Jab from O'Malley on that exit. Low kick from Yan. Body kick from Yan. O'Malley shoots his own takedown. Wait a minute, gets the back. I actually kind of like that. That's kind of crafty. That should be a Yan round one, though. That should be Yan round one. Okay, let me read Manny Marion's schizoing out. I'd pick Khalil and Habib because, hear me out, during helicopter, maybe you can use Khalil as the emergency room where they keep towel. Meanwhile, Habib distract Dana or call Dagestan. I don't think Connor. Okay, so that's Dana want to answer Habib's call. So get exposed. Jiri and Mighty Mouse could be interesting, but I don't think either of them fought at welterweight. I think Jiri used to be amateur, but no training with helicopter, in my opinion. I think Jiri's flown a helicopter. I think Jiri's flown a helicopter too. Maybe if Roundtree and DJ, but I don't think Roundtree actually lives in the U.S. because sometimes I see him training with Hamzat in Dagestan. That's English. Besides Roundtree and DJ, the rest of this makes sense. Roundtree, he does live in the U.S. because Hamzat trains with Bear in them, but he also trains in Thailand with Yan. Okay, that's done with chat. Peter Yan! All right, round two. Again, if you want to watch this on YouTube, Sean O'Malley, Peter Yan, UFC 280. I'm about to start round two. I have it Yan up, winning round one so far. If you want to join this watch with me. Which two would you choose? Probably Roundtree and Roundtree. Probably Roundtree and Roundtree. If I had to choose, Roundtree and Roundtree. I think King Car French died, by the way. Dude, Tim Welch is such a funny corner, man. Tim Welch as a corner man is just the angel on your shoulder. Round two. That doesn't make any sense, but all right. Okay, Manny Marion. That's where you draw the line. Round 2 begins. Oblique kick, body kick. Nasty from Yan. Low kick from Yan. Good right from O'Malley, though, right there. Jab, jab 2 from O'Malley. That was decently on the forehead of Yan. Oh, good left hand from O'Malley. Stumbles Yan. O'Malley's really going for it. Another right hand from O'Malley. Yan drops down. I think some body kicks right here from O'Malley would have been money. Oh, but good 2 back from Yan. Yan drops him. Oh my goodness. All right, this is Yan's round then. That is like a UFC 5 gameplay type starting of round 2. You land a crazy overhand right, and then the other guy just answers back with his own crazy overhand right. Both just wobbled. Zero stamina. I think if O'Malley used some elbows from bottom here, he'd be doing pretty good though. This is some crazy good scrambling from O'Malley though. Maybe just because Yan invites it a little bit more than Merab. I'm surprised O'Malley gets up pretty easily. Not easily, but O'Malley's hooking the gloves. O'Malley just hooked the gloves with no problem at all. Yan reshoots on a double. Man, it's 2 in the morning. I have class at like 7. Well, I got to get up at 7. I have class at 8. Got to drive an hour to class. Knee to the body from Yan. Right hand from both miss. Little Osotogari trip from Yan. I've seen this clip before. O'Malley goes for his own Osotogari trip. Oh, good one too from O'Malley there, though. Oblique kick. If O'Malley gets his signature knee up the middle, though, I'd probably give O'Malley this round too. O'Malley's so gassed in this round, though. He's breathing hard. Body kick from Yan. Right hand to the body from Yan. A body kick from O'Malley back, though. Yan dips a lot, though, towards that. Oh, good body kick from O'Malley, or from Yan, but good right hand from O'Malley. Oh, another good body kick from Yan, dude. These body kicks are nasty. Oblique kick from Yan. Low kick from O'Malley. Jabs from O'Malley. Good, 2 good jabs. Jab again from O'Malley. Still probably a Yan round, but I don't know. 1-1-2. Another good jab from O'Malley. He could win it. He's probably winning this back though. Head kick from Yan. Shoots in another deep double. Mary Manning is schizoing out in chat in the corner of my eye. Yan gets another takedown. Probably 2-0 Yan. O'Malley kicks Yan off. Yan re-enters though. Grabbing the O'Malley's back. Maybe going to scoot him off the cage even more. Getting half guard. Okay. Yan's up 2 going into the third. I'll say a few fighters you got to say what's common between them all. Kayas, Cora, DDP, Derek Lewis, Bilal, Robert Whitaker, Volk, off Umar. It's such a tricky one, but doable. Think about it though. Clue, think about their opponents a little bit. I think they all fought Habib. Is probably the final answer. All fought Habib. Final answer, Mary Mannion. So, how did they give O'Malley this fight? Because O'Malley's down 2 going into the third. What rounds did they give O'Malley? O'Malley round 2, Yan round 2? Oh, you split them. O'Malley round 1? I think Yan got it with the takedown at the end, no? Hit it with a takedown. And had some nasty body kicks all throughout round 1. They have O'Malley 1 and 3? Really? Gave him 1 and 3. Clue got to do with. Oh, they all knocked out Izzy then. Boom. Thank you for the clue. They all knocked out Izzy. Really? They gave O'Malley 1 and 3. Round 3 must be where he lands this knee then. I know the clip of him landing this nasty knee on Yan. I mean, I guess round 1, that's really, huh? I have Yan up 2. Round 3 begins. Oblique or front kick to the body from O'Malley. And he's cheated quite a bit, to be fair, O'Malley has. Yan's been sticking out his fingers, too, to be fair. But O'Malley's been hooking the glove, grabbing the cage. Low kick into a head kick. Crazy stuff from Yan. Yan shoots in on a deep single. O'Malley gets the collar tie, or double collar tie, separates. People live, though, had O'Malley winning that first round, huh? Kevin Ioli had O'Malley winning round 1. Low kick from O'Malley. Jabs from O'Malley. Nasty jabs. Crazy how much damage he took to his face from Marab, but O'Malley's just doing no damage. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, kids. That's true. That's true. When's this knee O'Malley loads up? Oblique kick. Body kick, left to right misses from Yan, though. Left hand from O'Malley misses. Right hand, left hand to the body from Yan misses. Decent jabs from O'Malley. Low kick from O'Malley. Uppercut, right hand, double leg from Yan. O'Malley's showing the ninja choke. Yan switches to a high single leg. O'Malley balances well and they separate. Oh, good knee up the middle from O'Malley. Good lead hand from O'Malley. Cuts Yan. Head kick from O'Malley. 1, 2, 3. Knee up the middle again from O'Malley. Head kick from Yan misses. Ooh, good lead hand from Yan, though. Or sorry, rear hand. Good 1, 2 again, though, from O'Malley. Yan hits him with the lead. Low kick from Yan. Jabs from O'Malley. Head kick from O'Malley. That was a nasty head kick. Yan shoots in on a deep double. O'Malley sprawls it pretty well, though. Yan's really shooting in. O'Malley's just doing busy work right now. If O'Malley was Sirogan, he'd continue to elbow the back of the head right there. O'Malley's really trying to get Yan off this double leg, but Yan takes him down, collects the legs. There's still an O'Malley round, though, in round 3. O'Malley trying to trip out. He's using this Kimura grip as well to try and Get his hips free while keeping Yan in one place. O'Malley builds up to his base. Separates the body grip. Yan's just doing some busy work in the clinch right now. O'Malley turns it around. Almost. Gets it. Separates. Dude, Yan is leaking, dude. That's a nasty cut. Good jab from O'Malley. I don't know if the two landed well. Low kick from O'Malley misses. Jab from O'Malley just slightly misses. Right hand from both miss. Or power hand, I guess the better way. Good two from O'Malley, but Yan answers back with a counter lead. Hurt O'Malley badly, dude. O'Malley's looking at the time. O'Malley grabs the cage multiple times. O'Malley grabs the cage again. Good roll from O'Malley. Good two from O'Malley. Yan answers with the lead hook. Doesn't really land it, though. Kick to the balls from O'Malley. Jab, jab from O'Malley. Jab again from O'Malley. Low kick from Yan. O'Malley goes for the Asotagari and ends up on bottom. O'Malley going for this armbar or something from bottom. Okay. Yeah, I would say Yan won off of rounds 1 and 3 or 1 and 2. I think O'Malley only won the third. But that was a sick fight. That's a sick fight. I also think, honestly, I think O'Malley, if it was 5 rounders, I'd favor O'Malley, to be fair. He looked pretty well. I know Yan's the one who ends up on top, and O'Malley made a dumb shot shooting in, but I think it's this smart O'Malley who seems to have a lot better cardio if you look at the Marab fight. I'd honestly maybe favor O'Malley to win the rematch. If I'm being honest, if it's 5 rounds, I don't know. Answer: DDP, Robert, Umar have fought Izzy. Rest of them train Izzy in his gym. So that's not common with everyone though. Mandy Marion, you said what's common with between all of them, because you said DDP, Robert, and Umar fought, but the rest of them train. That's not all common. After Izzy went against Robert, there's a footage of Habib saying he have to wrestle, ignore for long run invites. Habib to destroy him. Izzy got too cocky, so said no. Now he got submitted. That's why Habib 29-0. If he ever fought Mayweather instead of Dana White and McGregor, he'll be 30-0, undefeated in UFC. Also boxing. That's very true. Manny, what are you barking about, puppy? Okay, who would win, Prime Dillashaw or Sean O'Malley? I would think O'Malley wins. Dillashaw, even though he does have very good, like that stutter step on the outside footwork, O'Malley just be too much at that range. Peter Yan's a lot better of a counter striker too than Dillashaw. I've never really seen a Dillashaw fight, to be fair though. Never seen a Dillashaw fight, if I'm being honest. But just from the highlights and stuff, Dillashaw is like a killer on that front foot, but I think O'Malley would probably counter him pretty well. Very good at distance management too. O'Malley is. I think he'd probably beat him, if I'm being honest. That's a sick fight. Yeah, I don't know how O'Malley won that. I have Yan winning rounds 1 and 2. That was a sick fight though. Again, I'd probably favor O'Malley in a 5 rounder though, to be fair. Especially with that nasty cut he caused. Now, of course, it's not going to mean that he causes a cut every time in round 3. That would affect Yan in rounds 4 and 5. But still, I think there's something to think about for that. Appreciate you all joining the stream. I'm going to go to bed. It's 2 a.m. I have class in less than 5 hours. So, I wish we get Prime Dillashaw back. Him versus O'Malley and Marab would be sick. It would be. But PEDs, dude, PEDs. That's why you don't use them. That's also why his shoulder's so messed up. I've seen that, though. I'll probably be making a video tomorrow. Now, I'll give you all some options. What do we prefer? Okay. Are we thinking Ian Gary, Islam Makhachev should have been a draw? Are we thinking the top most entertaining fighters in the UFC? Or are we thinking what is my suspicions on what the main event for UFC 332 could be. What would you prefer? Or Type 4 if all those ideas suck? Type 4 if all of those ideas suck and I should stop making videos forever. I hope I don't see too many 4s, dude. And I'm now realizing the delay on the stream may have made it where people left before I could ask the question. So I'm maybe asking nobody. All right, Manny Marion wants the 322 video or 332 video, or maybe they're just saying 322. Islam JDM. Maybe they're just saying that. I never know with Manny Marion. Never really know. I'm going to assume you mean 332. A speculation on what that card could be, and maybe building a card for 332. That could be fun. Probably just build the main card. I'm not too really good at building prelims because those are boring, dude. 332. That's 2 votes for 332. That's a third of my whole chat. So I get one more 332. Might be over. Yo, you're still alive. What up? What is up? Mr. Life is Random. I'm about to leave. I am asking what video would you like to see posted tomorrow? UFC 332, what that main card could be, and maybe making a card for it, making UFC 332's card, main card, or a video going over how Islami and Gary should have been a draw, or going over the most entertaining fighters in each division in the UFC. What's next for the fighters that fought in UFC 330? I could make 2 videos then. Ultra busy. Could just do 2. I'll probably just make that one anyways, because it's still hype. Yeah, I'll probably still make that anyways then. I'll make that and then I'll make the 332 video. I do need to make 2 videos. Tomorrow's a light day on my classes, so I should have enough time to make 2 videos before I work. Make one early morning. Honestly, maybe make one when I'm done with this video, if we're being honest. Maybe Aspinall versus Gone main event, in my opinion. That'd be a good one, Manny Marion. That'd be a good one. Want to see a video on Alessandro Taporia's future and him potentially being a triple champ, literally so creative no one has made it. Well, maybe I could do top prospects. I don't know if I can make a whole video about just Alessandro Taporia and his future, but maybe top UFC prospects and how far I see them going for each division. That could be good. Could do that. I wouldn't hate that video. So what for flyweight? I would say Alden Correa, but Alden Correa looked very poor. I'd still probably say Alden Correa if he gets it past Ethan Ewing. That's true. Ethan Ewing will probably take the bantamweight spot from Alessandro Taporia, if I'm being honest. Life is random. I like Ethan Ewing as a prospect way more than Alessandro Taporia. So that's flyweight. That's bantamweight. Featherweight. Oh, what's a good featherweight prospect? Come on, bro. Taporia and I'll ask about Alexander, bro. Compare Ilya's first fights to his and tell me what you think. Hello, Chief. Come on. Do it, man. Do it. Come on, bro. Talk about Alessandro, bro, and compare Ilya's first fights to his and tell me what he'll think. Achieve. Do it, man. Do it. The only difference is Life is Random. He doesn't have the power of Taporia. That was kind of the whole thing about Taporia, is that his power is crazy. He's got that touch of death at featherweight. Alessandro now because he fights without it's a lot harder for him to achieve what Taporia did. He's also older. You know, he's older. Yeah, talk about okay. So tomorrow I'll make a UFC 330 fights to make next after UFC 330. I'll make UFC 332's main event and card. Gene Silva, Movzar, Vallejos for possible future featherweight champs. Well, I want to do unranked people. Alter BZ. I would like to do unranked people just because they're not, in my opinion, you're a contender if you're ranked. You're a prospect if you're unranked, you know? So that's why I'm having trouble for featherweight. I'm having some trouble for featherweight. That's why I will go to Tapology and I'll type on the rankings. I'll select the rankings and just scroll and see who really pops out to me. Brian Ortega is ranked number 5 on Tapology rankings for featherweight. The world is done. Francis Marshall and Myron Santos. Oh, Tommy McMillan's featherweight. Boom. Do Tommy McMillan. You know what I'm saying? Top 7 UFC fighters who fought title but not really fought. Like maybe they were on the run, but once title shot, they could have fought Habib McGregor but remain top 6. Would be interesting. Good night, cutie. Okay, Manny Marion. Please put down the cocaine. I'm a dip. Good night, Manny Marion. Again, cocaine could use less of it. You know, I may just say Tommy McMillan, but I also want to say Ethan Ewing's actually at featherweight, so bantamweight could be Alexandre Topuria. Have a great day. Thank you. It's 2 a.m., so it would be have a great day. Anyways, hope you all had a good time. I had a great time. I appreciate all of y'all watching. Be probably live streaming tomorrow. Probably, hopefully, the plan is to have 2 videos tomorrow. I appreciate y'all if y'all watch that. A lot of my videos have not been doing the best recently, so like likes and subscribes on those would be nice. Like, like I only got 9 views on my UFC 330 predictions, but that's acceptable. I'd appreciate some more. So if y'all could maybe check out the videos I post tomorrow, appreciate it. But y'all have a good night. See y'all tomorrow. Don't be funny, make some money. Buy the numbers. Peace.